New at 7, 6 Republican state lawmakers are asking President Trump to focus immigration raids on violent criminals only. They sent a letter to the president saying these raids have created fear in their communities, even among those who are in the country legally, and that's also leading to labor shortages. The letter reads in part, "This fear is driving vital workers out of critical industries, taking California's affordability crisis and making it even worse for our constituents. We urge you to direct ICE and DHS to focus their enforcement operations on criminal immigrants and, when possible, to avoid the kinds of sweeping raids that instill fear and disrupt the workplace." The letter was spearheaded by Republican State Senator Suzette Valladares, who represents parts of Santa Clarita, Lancaster, and Palmdale. On the floor of the state Senate today, she pushed for a bipartisan conversation to fix the immigration system, which includes sanctuary city policies.
It hurts me to see people frustrated and upset and in fear. But lying about why we're here does nothing to fix it.
And joining us live now is Republican State Senator Suzette Valladares. We want to thank you so much for being with us here at 7.
Kathy, thank you so much for having me.
You bet. Well, you and 5 of your colleagues sent this letter last week. Have you gotten a response?
So let me start off with saying that California is now seeing the consequence of decades of failed policy, both at the federal level and here in California. During the Biden administration, over 10 million people came into our country illegally. And here in California, in 2018, we passed sanctuary city laws, which force immigration enforcement into our communities as opposed as into where they should be, in jails and courts. And myself and 5 other colleagues got together because we are tired of what is happening. We have seen the failed leadership in California and reached out to the president to ask for federal leadership.
So have you heard back from him? Has there been any kind of correspondence? And what do you hope he'll say?
We have not officially heard back from the president. However, we were very pleased to see some of his recent comments. Some of his recent actions. One, his attorney general is now suing the city of Los Angeles for their extreme sanctuary city policies, which force their federal agents in immigration onto our streets as opposed to working with courts and in jails, as well as his sentiments and understanding the need for immigrants and a legal temporary workforce in California in agriculture, and has even most recently said that he's looking at an executive order for workers in hospitality and in agriculture.
Right, and we have to wait to see what happens with that. At least that was encouraging. But the other side of the issue is sanctuary policies that were passed so that undocumented immigrants, they felt safe enough to report crimes.
So I'm going to push back on that a little bit, because I think that we can protect victims and we can restore law and order. It doesn't have to be either or. And by forcing immigration enforcement into our communities, into the workplace, no one is safer.
And what do you say to people out there right now? We talked about fear. We talked about the farm workers. What do you say to people who might be undocumented right now?
I understand your fear, and I encourage you to continue to have your voice heard, to know that Republicans are fighting for you, that the president is looking at our temporary undocumented workforce, and that we understand your importance.
State Senator Suzette Valladares, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.